My name is Heng. Today is Saturday, February 15th. Hey, it's Valentine's Day. It is the 14th in America. Glad you're here with us to join our Master Empty Cloud Picture Biography lecture session. So let's get underway. Today, Sarah is going to do the Dharma request all the way from Memphis, Tennessee. So we're going to first ring the handbell 3 times, make 3 half bows, and then Sarah will request Dharma. So if you want to join me, let's do our bows now. First bow, second bow, third bow. Okay, Sarah, if you'd like to request Dharma, please go ahead and do it now.
恭敬大德僧听，为此法会济一切众生，请传妙法轮教导我们，如何了生脱死离苦得乐。度众无上。Fill the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye olahadi sammyao samputoshe.
Namo saranto sucheroye alahati samyao samputoshe.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. All righty, Sarah, thank you for the Dharma request. Appreciate that. Of course, I accept and will be happy to step everybody through today's. We're going to do 3 episodes today, 3 stories from the life of Master Empty Cloud. But to get us started, we'd like to respectfully acknowledge the Kombu-Meri people of the Ugambi language region here in the Gold Coast of Queensland as the traditional storytellers and custodians of the land where the monastery is located. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded, upon whose shoulders we sit. 我们恭敬地承认与冈贝语族的空布马里人，是我们自愿所在地的传统叙事者和守护人。我们向过去、现在和未来的长者们致敬，并且向所有从来没有放弃主权的第一民族的原住民致敬。Okay, we have a lovely new bell to guide us through the bell song. Let's see, make sure that my original sound is on. Here we go. Bell sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere Fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. With a bell that resonant, you only have to hit it half as many times. It doesn't quit ringing. 众生传三千劫内，佛法让万亿国中，共训其法界和平，利益报他脑后的。Okay. The last trip to Taiwan that we took, let's see here, we go, what are we going to do? There we go. All right. Okay, done. Okay. In the neighborhood where we were staying was right down the street, 1 block from Taipei, which means probably Taiwan's best Buddhist accoutrement store, Wenmu Dian, 佛教 Wenmu Dian. 3 different floors of everything from thangkas, pictures of Buddhas, to shoes for monks, everything from bells to bowing cloths, everything from incense to alms bowls, just everything that a monk or nun might want, or a layperson. 3 floors. And so given, the opportunity to acquire things that for example, here in Australia are simply not available. I brought home 2 bells, this one and a larger one, the same variety, and couldn't be happier. These are just lovely. Okay, now I mentioned 就说如果你们愿意听流利的普通话的翻译哈，那个你的控制板，那个软体的控制板，软件的控制板的右下角有个地球 ，interpretation 就那里有中文，可以找到了啊，欢迎。感恩把我所讲英文的翻译普通话的义工，还有gratitude to the translators of my English words into Vietnamese. Really appreciate that effort ongoing, so that people who would like to hear a Vietnamese translation, click here on this link, and it will take you right to where you want to be to hear Vietnamese. Furthermore, should you decide that you would like to be a Dharma requester like Sarah was today from Memphis, there is an email address in the chat box which will take you out to where you can send an email and volunteer to request Dharma. Okay, what we are looking at on the screen is a famous hanging temple, it's called, in China. This is not connected to today's lecture other than graphically. It's just, here we are. China has some incredible mountains, and Master Empty Cloud traveled to 3 of them in this today's lecture. Last week, we recall he burned off his finger, and as soon as it healed, went right back to making thousands of bows a day to his mother. So, what a Iron Man monk. Today, that he is, I believe, I'm speaking for Master Empty Cloud, I believe he feels like he's done his work in repaying his mother's kindness. So, what is he doing? Back on the road again. 登云台而望东海, climbing up cloud platform and looking out over the Eastern Ocean. It's 1899 to 1900. It's the millennial year. Wow, when a century goes by, people do weird stuff. That's just something about rounding out a 100-year cycle. I remember Y2K, when we went from 1999 to the year 2000. Lots of strange stuff. So he is 60, going on 61 years old. It is the 25th year of the Guangxu reign, there's only 11 more years of Chinese emperor reign left before the Republic of China is born in 1911. So, big deal. This is though you can start to feel the Chinese empire lose its grip on power. The end of the Qing dynasty and the end of dynasties entirely, coming right up in 11 years. So it is, here, let's read it, the Chinese together. 己亥60岁，应节三宝临夭 that is, 赴丹阳，修仙台观，至句容，赤山法忍，父毛鹏。OK， 公子61岁，你在朝舞台，入中南修隐，先到扬州，朝云台山，此山位于江苏、山东昆连处，高入云际，故名云台。In 1899, the master, age 60, responded to the invitation of Dharma masters Jiesun and Baolin to come to Danyang and help renovate Shentai Guan Temple, which is a Taoist temple. From there, he went to Jurong, where he used the hut of Dharma Master Fa Ren of Red Mountain. So, to use a hut, what does it say? Fu Maopeng. So that means he's living like a hermit monk, living like monks live, just a roof over your head, just enough to keep the rain and the wind off so you can cultivate the way. 61 years old, the year turned, it's 1900, he says, I'm going back to Wu Tai Shan and then going to Zhongnan Shan to be a hermit again. He went to Yangzhou first to visit Yuntai Shan, which lies on the border of Jiangsu and Shandong province. Its height seems to scale the clouds. That's why it was named Cloud Terrace. Here's the picture. Here's our monk. Notice here's a monastery. The artist got the temple in. Look at the rocks. This is really the way rocks look in China. And he's looking out, gazing out into the cloudy sky. Shifu's poem, 东海名山古云台，无边波浪入眼来，烦恼众生何时度？菩提佛果力培哉。Beautiful poem by Shifu. Notice the rhyme, tai, lai, zai. And let's look at the Chinese, just word for word, just to get a sense of how beautiful this is. Eastern Ocean, famous mountain, ancient cloud terrace, no boundary, waves and billows, enter the eye and arrive. So, meaning, it's an elegant way of saying, watching boundless waves hit your eye, staring at them. Afflicted living beings, what time taken across? Bodhi, Buddha fruition, with strength, cultivate and grow. So, English? The ancient cloud terrace is a famous mountain by the eastern sea. Boundless waves on the ocean are always on display. When will the myriad afflicted beings all cross over? The Buddha's fruition of Bodhi must be steadily nourished. Okay, there it is. So, what do we have? We've had very intense episodes of Master Empty Cloud going to King Ashoka Temple, making vows to take his mother across, bowing, looking at the Sharira, having an incredible response of a dragon coming down, telling him to get on his back. He gets on the back of the dragon. Is it a dream? Sort of a dream, not a dream. The dragon takes him out into space, into a kind of a spaceless space, where he sees beautiful, elegant, stately palace buildings, and through the window catches sight of his mother, whose face he has never seen. His mother is at peace. She is embroidering, something she enjoyed doing, and it's a clean, safe, well-lit place for mothers to be. And he's very happy. He says, "Mom, come get on the dragon. We'll go to the Pure Land." Well, she can't hear him. So all the same, his heart knows peace. The dragon comes back down to the Liberating Life Pond at King Ashoka Temple. He gets down off the dragon vanishes, and he kind of, what was that about? Did I see that or did I not? All the same, he remembers the feeling of well-being, and what does he do? He increases his bowing. He doesn't quit. He wants to get his mother to the Pure Land. Was she in the Pure Land? Is that where he went? Didn't know. So he's bowing 3,000 bows a day and increases his bowing. He gets sick, and illness arises so severe that he can't continue to bow. And he and the medical team at the monastery come to the conclusion that he's about to die. Now, earlier, it's not clear in the story, I don't know when he made the pact, but he made a promise with 8 other cultivators to burn off a finger as an offering to the Buddha, following the inspiration of the Buddha Medicine King. Now, I guess I didn't do that. I prepared a story of Medicine King Buddha in the Lotus Sutra, and how you, see, do I have it here? No, I don't have it here. It's on a different document. I went into the Fa Hua Jing to find the story of Medicine Buddha, and how you, what's the inspiration for making an offering of turning your body into a lamp, into an oil lamp. And so Medicine King Buddha, Yao Wang Pusa, is a great bodhisattva. He's not just an ordinary person. And he says he's going to make an offering to the Buddha, light his body on fire, and his body burns for thousands of years. And he gets the praise of the Buddha as being a supreme offering. Some people over the centuries have said, "Ooh, cool, me too," and tried to light their bodies on fire as an offering, and discovered that is not, there's more to it than meets the eye, clearly. And we pass that story on with a serious, weighty caution. That is to say, unless you are a bodhisattva of the level of Master of Medicine King, don't mess around. It's not a joke. It's not fun. And it's nothing you experiment with. This only somebody who has already been able to leave their body because of their samadhi and their yoga skill should even consider any of this. So we mentioned Master Hua's disciple, Guozuo, who burned his body and it turned to ash. We mentioned Thich Quang Duc, the Vietnamese monk, who in 1962 during the Vietnam War did the same kind of thing. But he already had control over his life and death. 来明去白. So for him, not an ordinary person, different story. So that's part of this year. Now, Master Empty Cloud made the promise with, is it 8 people were going to do it with him, or 8 people were going to support he alone, his offering alone? It's not clear. So the abbot, the young abbot of Airwang Temple says, don't do it, you're sick, it'll kill you. Master Empty Cloud says, I would rather die in the process of fulfilling my vow than being, quote, safe and living on but not fulfilling the vow. So, moved by this sincerity, the 21-year-old abbot at Airwang Si says, okay, I'll support you. I'll let you do it here. So we followed the story, super incredible drama. Burns his finger, feels like 84,000 hair pores all are on fire at once, and then instant coolness, and his illness is healed spontaneously. And everyone goes, whoa, who is this monk? So the illness that looked to claim his life was a karmic debt come up for repayment. By making this offering, he repaid the debt with merit and virtue. So within a week, the skin healed, and he was better, just like that. Okay, that's where we start today. What did he do next? Went back to bowing, and then at a certain point said, thank you, my vow is complete. I'm back on the road. Here he is, traveling, and he's made a decision. Notice, the decision is, I'm going to go, can't make it expand here. I'm going to go back to Wutaishan and then Zhongnanshan. Going to go to Five Peaks Mountain, the destination of his pilgrimage, and then he's going to go back to Zhongnanshan, where he was before the Chan session when he got enlightened. He was on, I'm sorry, I make my mistake. He was on Jiuhuashan with the other pilgrims when the Chan session happened. Now he's going back to Zhongnanshan where he was before. A great place for pilgrims, hermits living alone on the mountain. People recall the video that we showed months ago of the film, the video created by Ted Berger and Common Folk Films, you'll find it there, called the Mountain Path, which you can see real, current day hermits living on Zhongnanshan. Okay. So let's take a look here. Where are we? We are at Yun Tai Shan. There it is. This is his destination. This is a UNESCO travel site because of the beauty of Yun Tai Shan. And they have China tends to do a really good job with their scenic when they have something that people can tour and visit, they do a really good job of getting, parking spots for buses and getting the bathrooms in the right number and, getting the pathways available for strolls and labeling everything, having great signage and everything. So this is one of those places, Yun Tai Shan. And let's see here. Yun Tai Shan. Yeah, there we go. Okay, next. What's our next episode? Deng Tai Shan Guan Tian Xia. Climbing Mount Tai and contemplating the world, looking at the world. We ready? Next one, here we go. 山东泰安县城北，高40里之东，越泰山，乃五岳名山之一，亦为历代圣地明君登此山祭祀上帝玉皇，因陀罗网之地。山上古迹名胜不可胜数，有观世音菩萨庙、宿护观音娘娘，香会甚盛。North of the cities of Tai'an, Shandong in Shandong province, lies the 40-li high eastern range, or Tai Mountain, one of the well-known 5 sacred mountains of China. It's a Taoist mountain. Through the ages, the emperors and enlightened rulers climbed this mountain and made their ritual worship of the Jade Emperor Indra, Yu Huang Dadi. There are uncountably many historic sites and the scenic spots on the mountain. There is the temple of Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin Bodhisattva, who is commonly referred to as a goddess, where many people come to offer incense at Taishan. Okay, here we are, Taishan. He's touristing, you can see. Okay. Master Hua's verse says, 云台朝罢登泰山，天下苍生颠倒颠，唯请观音哀摄受，揭谛到彼岸。 Another really good poem. Having made a pilgrimage to Cloud Terrace Mountain, he ascended Mount Tai. Living beings in the world are pitifully upside down. He sought a response from Avalokiteshvara to compassionately gather them in. Gate, paragate, arrive at the other shore. Shifu's verses just make these episodes so special. Okay, I'd like to point out, so this is Taishan, and it is one of those spots where emperors would go to pray for peace and well-being in the country. Taishan is considered kind of one of the peaks of China, one of the places you go if you want to be in touch with the whole country at once. So the emperors would go to Taishan and pray and make offerings, and of course it was China being the place where the Wu Xingxing, the 5 elements theory was born. This was done at the right time of the year, and after the emperor would make his offerings or her offerings, they would look for a response and hope that, some sign that heaven and earth accepted the emperor's offerings and things should go well. And of course, the Wenwu, Baiguan, the emperor's advisors, would be there filling his ear with all the praise and the flattery. Oh, we saw an auspicious purple sunrise that shows that heaven and earth is happy with Huang Shang's offering. That's the kind of thing you do if you have the emperor's ear. So here is our monk. He's going up just to take a look because he's in the neighborhood, and he is through our study of his life, we get to tour China's famous spots. So this is, Mount Tai is considered a real power spot in the world for people who pay attention to earth acupuncture, where there are, there are said to be famous spots in the earth where you can kind of take the pulse of the planet, and this is one of them. So here we are. Here's China, right? Everybody's familiar with the shape of the country. This is Shandong province. Here is Taishan, close to the kind of the Shandong Peninsula, not far from the tip of the Shandong. It's near to Jinan, and it's also close to Jining, right? Here it is. Here is Taishan, oops, right there. That's the spot. And you can see some of the photos. You can visualize the emperor coming down and making the offerings. 五岳独尊. This Taishan is a real mountain. I mean, you can see, you exhaust yourself getting up to the top. And people do, it's considered like pilgrimage spots worldwide. Some people go on their knees in order to bring a favorable result, and so that the Jade Emperor will look kindly on them, right? 飞来石, the rock that flew in. There's a story there. The Imperial Peak. Yeah, so Taishan is one of those acupuncture points of the universe, definitely. And again, the Chinese government, when you have close to 1 billion people as citizens, you have to prepare for the tourists, and they really stepped up to do a beautiful job of making these mountains accessible. And UNESCO, again, has said, we agree, this is a great place. Sunrise at Taishan. Now, this is not Wu Tai, and it's not Yun Tai. That's a different word. This is Tai, meaning grand, august, awesome, right? So that is Taishan, and if let's see here, there it is, in Shandong. Cliff, how far is this from your hometown?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half from our translator's hometown. 2 hours. Yeah, have you been? You travel?
Several times.
Several times. I'll bet. Yeah, my hometown is so flat. Where my hometown is at the shore of Lake Erie, so Toledo, Ohio is floodplain at some point, underwater at some point. So it's sea level, right? That's how unmountainous it is. Okay, I want to bring up a point here that Shifu, in his commentary, Shifu chose to write the text of these episodes of Master Empty Cloud's life. And so Xuyun Lao Hashang, Master Empty Cloud, 有观世音菩萨庙, 素湖娘娘. There is the temple of Avalokiteshvara, Guanyin Bodhisattva, commonly referred to as a goddess. Many people go there to offer incense. The point I want to make here, that, expanding on Shifu's comment here, is that through this biography, we're encountering the place where Buddhism meets popular culture. Master Empty Cloud, if he's at King Ashoka Temple, that's entirely Buddhist. Everything there, the customs, the food, the clothes, the sounds, the schedule, the architecture, it's all Buddhist. It's a Buddhist world. But Master Empty Cloud stepped outside the Buddhist world and traveled. He is a famous pilgrim. He bowed across China from Guanyin Bodhisattva's island, Putoshan, all the way to Manjushri Bodhisattva's mountain, Wutashan. And so as we watch him travel, we get to look at the non-Buddhist parts of China. And because he's a Buddhist monk, pilgrim, the non-Buddhists in China get to see a Buddhist monk as he bows past. Oh, there's a Heshang, there's a monk. And we see the interaction of Buddhist culture inside of China in the 19th, traveling now to the 20th century, right? Here it is, 1900. So that's fascinating. We get to look back at history of 125 years ago and how people responded then, and we can react to that influence on our lives in the 21st century now. So here's one of those places. What do people know about Guanyin Bodhisattva? They frequently say, who is Guanyin? She's the goddess of mercy. That's, I don't know if people are familiar. If you don't go out to, we'll put that away. If you don't go out to, here we are, Guanyin as the, quote, goddess of mercy. If you stay in the Buddhist world, then you know that Guanyin Bodhisattva is not a goddess and it's not mercy. She's the awakened being of great compassion. Very different, not the same thing. If you go outside and you say, oh, Guanyin, people go, oh yeah, the goddess of mercy, and they nod their heads. And it's always a temptation to want to set them straight or just go, okay, yeah, goddess of mercy, right? So what's wrong with this? Guanyin is not a goddess. Buddhism is not a theistic system. We don't have gods. We don't have goddesses. Guanyin is not that. Guanyin is an awakened being. She's a bodhisattva. And mercy, it's better than, I guess, an angry, jealous God, or a god of retribution. I am your retribution. That we're better. Mercy is better than that. But mercy often is like in Chinese, I don't know, lian min, or ke lian, or even de jiu ji, mercy, save me. Please have mercy upon me. That's what we ask in prayer to God in the Christian tradition. Please have mercy, Lord Jesus, have mercy upon me. Meaning, I am powerless and I need you to not hurt me. Don't hurt me is often kind of the motive behind mercy. That's not compassion. Guanyin's compassion is defined as tong ti da bei. That is to say, I recognize that you and all other sentient beings come about because of the conditions of earth, air, fire, and water coming together to create our various bodies. From insects to whales, from kookaburras to your grandfather. We're all earth, air, fire, and water coming together temporarily to give us a body that holds something special called the Buddha nature. That something special has a million names. The soul, the great spirit, the Buddha nature. So Guanyin's special, the compassion side of Guanyin says, yes, I know the earth, air, fire, and water that makes up the body, the solid parts, the liquid parts, the heat, the warmth, and the breath are shared alike. At the end of our lives, those four things recycle. There's a new alternative movement. I don't know if it's in Australia, but it's in the US, where your ashes go to fertilize a tree. You deliberately go to you say at the end of my life, I want to nourish a tree, so you get the sapling, the seedling that your ashes nourish, and you plant it. You come back as a maple. I want to come back as an oak. I'd like to be a hickory or a gum tree. Make me a gum tree. I'll feed a koala. So that's a grown-up way of looking at this body. But the important thing of this great compassion is to notice what's inside the bodies that we take on and then return to the earth, like a hotel room that gets recycled. Somebody else comes to live in it. What is that thing inside this, quote, stinking skin bag, as Master Empty Cloud called it, Cho Pinam? That is the same as well. And that's great compassion. Tong Ti, same body, no difference. And we get in trouble, and all the trouble arises when we assume there's so much difference. Oh, different skin color. Oh, different language. Oh, different economic system. Therefore, friend or enemy. Right? That's great compassion. Is that mercy? No. That's not mercy. So to call Guanyin the goddess of mercy is wrong on a bunch of counts. And when you hear that, it is in the culture. There are, readily available dictionaries or encyclopedias that will say Guanyin, often spelled Kuan, Kuan Yin, goddess of mercy. Is it worth to take the time to correct people? Or do you just kind of go, okay, I guess. So, not a goddess, not mercy. She's the awakened being of great compassion. There is the temple of Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, commonly referred to as a goddess incorrectly, stereotypically, where many people come to offer incense. As Buddhists, take the time to say, we want to refine our understanding of Avalokiteshvara, Guan Shi Yin, not a goddess. Okay? All right. Moving on, one more. More travel. Chao Fang Na Luoyan Ku, visiting Narayana Cave. 1900, 61 years old. Da Fang Guangfo Huayan Jingyun, Zhen Dan Guo You Shan Ming No Luoyan Ku Shan, You Wu Liang Pu Za Zhi Zhu Shuo Fa, Qi Zhi Zi Chu, 位于山东半岛尽头，崂山，名高山寒山老人在此哭侧，见海印寺，后被道师毁坏，毫无痕迹存在矣。The Mahavaipunya Buddha Avatamsaka Sutra, the sutra on the great expanded teachings of the Buddha's flower garland, known as the Avatamsaka, says there's a mountain in China called Narayana Cave Mountain, where limitless numbers of bodhisattvas live and expound the Dharma. The place referred to in the sutra is situated at the tip of the Shandong Peninsula on Laoshan, Lao Mountain. Near the cave, the eminent Ming Dynasty Sangha, Master Hanshan Deqing, established Haiyin Si, Ocean Imprint Monastery, which was later completely destroyed by the Taoists. Today, not so much of a trace of it remains. Okay, a cave, Narayana cave. There it is. Clearly it's a mountain, misty mountain. Master Empty Cloud, the pilgrim, he's got his pilgrim's robes on, patched robes. He's making prostrations, bowing in respect to a site on our planet referred to in the spiritual text called the Avatamsaka. That's a time when spiritual geography and physical geography overlap. So, was Narayana cave there in India when the Buddha, there in China, and the Buddha in India, speaking the Avatamsaka, referred to it? It's like, kind of an overlap between the sublime and the mundane. Here we go. 大方广佛华严经诺罗眼窟早说明无量菩萨正言法有缘众生入化中 Super poems. In the Mahavaipuya Buddha Avatamsaka Sutra, the Narayana cave was named quite clearly some time ago. Limitless numbers of bodhisattvas right now proclaim the Dharma there, and living beings who have affinities master the teachings. Okay, what's going on here? This is interesting. Think I want people to get a sense of this. Here we are. First of all, Lao Shan is here. Here's Shandong, Master Empty Clouds, out in Shandong. Oops. Hold on here. There we are. Here is Shandong. Here's Qingdao. Translator Cliff, have you been there? Lao Shan? Yes, he has. He came from Shandong. So here's Lao Shan, right at the tip. Now, for perspective, let's zoom out here. For perspective, here's Korea. Korea is just across the way. South Korea, North Korea. Where is Beijing? Beijing. Here is Zhangjiakou. Here is Harbin, Manchuria, where Master Hua is from. Master Hua's hometown is right up here. Beijing, here, let's see here. Here's Inner Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar. Beijing is right here. Okay, so just to get a little perspective where we're talking about. Master Empty Cloud is bowing down here in the tip of, right there, at the tip of the Shandong Peninsula. And here is the sutra. If we go out, here is DRBA Chinese. People know about this. 线上阅读, online reader. Here is Master Hua's commentary to the Avatamsaka, and it says, this is scroll 45, 第45卷. The chapter is called, so people get a sense of it, 菩萨住出品, 诸菩萨住出品. The abodes where bodhisattvas live. That's the name of the chapter. Chapter on where bodhisattvas live. Chapter 32 in the Avatamsaka. It is Gen 45, and you scroll down, and it says, this is a list of places. It's a geographical chapter. 正当国有一住处名挪罗眼窟。从昔以来，诸菩萨众于中止住。真丹国 China, that's the Avatamsaka's name for China, has a place called Narayana, great strength. Narayana is indestructible, indestructible cave where, from the past, bodhisattvas live. Okay, that's Avatamsaka Sutra text. How cool is that? again, it's 第45卷 scroll number 45, chapter number 32. There it is. And our biography has Master Empty Cloud on his way back to Wu Taishan, where he's going to be a hermit, stopping in to this place that's listed in a sutra that was explained first 2,500 years ago in India by the Buddha, who said, oh, I know a place in Zhandanguo in China where bodhisattvas live. It's called Narayana Cave. Go, wait. That's interesting. You know what else? Another place that appears in the Avatamsaka Sutras, chapter 32, where else? Wu Taishan, known as Qingliangshan, Mount Wutai, where Master Empty Cloud ended his pilgrimage, is also known as the mountain clear and cool. Chilly mountain, cold mountain, Qingliangshan, the bracing, chilly mountain. And it's mentioned in the Avatamsaka Sutras chapter right there. That was where I just was. The photos that we brought back of Mount Wutai, we just visited it 3 months ago. And I took special photographs of the hall called Wuliangdian, Limitless Hall, where Master Qingliang, National Master Qingliang, the monk called Chengguan, translated the Avatamsaka Sutra. So this is a incredible pilgrimage site where Manjushri Bodhisattva lives and teaches the Dharma, turns the Dharma wheel. So, yeah, think ahead. Is there going to be a spiritual place in Australia? Will there be a place where people in the future say, I have been to, say, Guoshun. Yeah, Guoshun, not Guozuo. Yeah, Guoshun. I have been to that incredible power spot in Australia. The chi there is really unbelievable. And if you go there to meditate, your mind spontaneously falls quiet. Your usual false thinking, the monkey mind, is subdued simply by the good chi. The feng shui of that spot is really incredible. Why not? What makes a power spot a power spot? Why is Narayana Cave a place where bodhisattvas live? Why is Five Peaks Mountain, Qingliang Mountain, Clear and Cool Mountain, a place where bodhisattvas live? Good question. So our hero, our pilgrim, Master Empty Cloud, interestingly, this story proves my point that I haven't talked about this for a while. But did you notice that 3 episodes ago, Master Empty Cloud had an enlightenment experience, 开悟正果, right? 成道. He accomplished the way at Gaomin Monastery near Nanjing. What did he do after enlightenment? So my project is to ask the question, what do you do after you get enlightened? Well, not having gotten enlightened, I can't speak from experience, but I can certainly look at monks who have, monks or nuns, and many, don't want to say without exception, because we haven't seen all the examples, but many monks and nuns, first thing they do after getting enlightened is to look for their parents to repay the kindness they received from them that allowed this life to be the one in which they realized the way, Zheng Dao, got enlightened. Master Empty Cloud did exactly that. After his enlightenment experience, he went to King Ashoka Temple to repay his mother's kindness. Now, she died in childbirth, so for him, that was a particularly poignant reality. He knew what he was talking about when he said, I want to repay my mother's kindness. I never saw her face. She died bringing me into the world. So it had extra charge on it. But many, many of the monks whom we admire wanted to, after their enlightenment, acknowledge the reality that the only way they could get enlightened was because of the gift that came from their parents, not only their bodies, but their start in life. And I really, you gotta say, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes what their parents gave them was tough love or absence of that parental care, or abuse sometimes. That is the case sometimes. But whatever, what you can't deny that without the love of the parents, I couldn't be here. My body wouldn't have been made. I wouldn't have gotten the start and the trajectory that carried me all the way to awakening. So, Master Empty Cloud's story is one of those stories. Definitely is. Okay, time to dedicate merit ourselves, to say thank you to Master Hua for giving us this nice book about our grand teacher, Master Empty Cloud. And I want to say thank you to all of the hands and hearts that put this lecture online, from translations to streaming to Dharma requests to week after week, getting all the conditions together, correspondence, notifying people about the schedule, et cetera. And it's a lot of effort going into making this Dharma lecture available in multiple languages, note. So, with that in mind, I'm going to send out my wishes, wherever they might be, wherever you can do the same, wherever you would like to send out your goodness. We do it with a mantra, Medicine Buddha's mantra, which is based on vows as well. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaidurya Pravachaya Atakataya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Adyata Vaisajya Sankate Swaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vaisajya Vaidurya Pravachaya Tathagaya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Adyata Vaisaji Vaisajya Sankate Swaha Bhagavate Vaisajya Vaidurya Pravachaya Tathagaya Arahate Samyak Sambuddhaya Adyata Vaisaji Vaisajya city of 10,000 Buddhas, when you bow to the Buddha, you would be bowing to Guanyin Bodhisattva. So let's try it. You can do 3 bows if you want to join. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Alrighty, that's it for today from us. We'll see you all next week. Ami Tuofo. Bye, everybody.